Hello and welcome to another edition of HS Game Time Live. I'm Kyle Glazer alongside Eric Paul Johnson. Pac-5 finals are here. Corona Centennial St. John Bosco. Eric, Bosco beat Centennial 70-49 last year in the SoCal Regional Bowl game. Is there any chance Centennial plays a little closer this year?
Yeah, I definitely think when you look at what St. John Bosco lost last season, it's quite impressive when you see how many of their guys are starting as true freshmen on the college level right now. So, does Centennial have a better chance this year than last year? Yes. Is it still a tall order? Yes. It's going to be an interesting matchup here. Centennial still has to, face that, dynamic duo of Josh Rosen and Sean McGrew. Sean McGrew ran all over him last year. I've seen both teams. Bosco's not quite as explosive offensively, but they still have a hard-hitting defense. So it's going to be a real interesting battle what happens here. It's going to be interesting also to see exactly who's going to be on the field for Centennial. There is still a chance Grayson Bankhead could be out there. He had a separated shoulder, not a fractured collarbone, so there is a chance he could be out there. It's a long shot, but if he can get back out there and give him another weapon, that gives their offense a good chance.
You mentioned a tall order. Centennial's defense, this is going to be the test. Josh Rosen was recently elevated to the #1 prospect in the entire country, any position, by Rivals. You also have Sean McGrew, as we've mentioned before. Now, you might remember McGrew running through holes the size of the Grand Canyon last year. It's because they had a lot of great offensive linemen who are gone. So I want to see how Centennial's defensive line handles this newer, not quite as amazing group of linemen that Bosco had. I do want to say, though, I think no matter what happens, just that Centennial's here is amazing. I think teams talk way too much about making a statement. A lot of times it's just hot air. No one actually made a statement. I think Centennial did. In year 1 in the Pac-5, in really a down year in terms of experienced returners, college-level talent, and to do so with all the injuries they've taken over this playoff run, I think it really, really is amazing. I think Centennial, just the fact they're here is incredible. And even if they don't win this one, because look, St. John Bosco, they're #1 in everything for a reason. I think if Centennial can keep it close and once again, stop them on offense a little bit, keep it in that 35-31 range, I think Centennial will earn even more admiration. But even if it is another blowout, you can't take away from Centennial what they've done this year.
Yeah, and the one thing you can look at right now is some common opponents. St. John Bosco beat Mater Dei by a few points. Centennial split their 2 meetings with them, obviously winning the second meeting around. And they both played Bishop Gorman, the #1 ranked team in the nation this year. Centennial obviously should have won that game. They ended up losing by 1 point on late 2-point conversion. Bishop Gorman handled Bosco for 3 quarters. Bosco came back and made that a close game. So it's going to be a real interesting matchup that comes out there. I think Centennial is going to be motivated here. I think it's going to be a close one. I'm probably going to have to give Bosco just a slight edge right now. I think Josh Rosen's going to be a lot to handle, but there is enough talent on Centennial, and we see them battle through adversity all year. Last week, all the offensive playmakers they didn't have their #2 tackler, but he'll be back. Tank Goodman will be back in that defense. So this is going to be an exciting game. It'll be definitely, a lot closer and a little bit lower scoring than last year's game.
Definitely. I am picking Bosco as well. Centennial D-line. It's all up to you guys. Well, that's it for HS Game Time Live. I'm Kyle Glazer alongside Eric Paul Johnson. Thanks, and we'll see you next week.